Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never stop. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts we'll never yield. In the virtual arena we own the field. In the virtual arena we own the field. In the virtual arena we own the field. In this realm we reign supreme. Finest fellas living a dream. In this realm we reign supreme. Finest fellas living the dream. In the spotlight, they rise to fame. Finest fellas, remember the name. With guitars blazing, they rock the scene. Streaming glory, living the dream. Charging up, can't bring us down. In the chaos, we're owning this town. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never stop. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas living the dream. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never stop. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field.
Hey there guys, what's going on? Finest fellas here. Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. We're going to be doing some more Warhammer painting today of the captain that we have been doing over the last few live streams. This handsome chappy right here with all his base colors down. Now the temperature is a whopping 16 degrees outside, so nice and cool, meaning I should be able to get some of those metals done today. I want to get the shield, at least with its base colors done, and then I will attach the shield to the captain, and then we can go on about doing highlights and such. That is the plan for today. I've just realized that that camera needs to be a smooch higher. There you go, so you can actually see my face. We've got Cobalt. What's going on, Cobalt? Welcome. How are you today, my friend? Hopefully you're having a good one, dude. Alright, let's make sure we get all these camera angles done. Make sure we got the microphone nice and positioned. Make sure we got all the brushes. Don't need the dry palette. At least not right now. But yes, the shield. So we're going to need Rakarth flesh for sure, but I'm going to go once over again on the golds where it's a bit patchy. Because we were having a lot of issues with it. At least with the gold just not drying right on there. So we're going to go and give it a little smudge. And we'll get started. Now, let me go and chuck some music on as well. There we go. Let me know if it's too loud for you. If it's too loud, just let me know. How are we doing today, Cobalt? You having a good day? I'm going to loosen my belt a bit now that I'm sat down now. And we're going to get started here. The gold doesn't actually look that bad. But I do want to neaten it up where it hasn't really dried very well. And some of the areas got a bit patchy, you see. Yep, we're just going to go along all the edges. Thus. And again, these are just base colors. It's not like we've done any shading of any real sort here. Yeah, it's really nasty on the back. For some reason, it's like the gold pigment has just had enough. It's very, liquidy. It shouldn't be. And I can't really explain it. Getting all the little curves. I think my microphone's working. Just drop them down for a sec, flick it over, and get the other side done. I'm also going to do this part here gold. Hey Steven, what's going on, man? How's the audio balance, by the way, for the music? Going to get this rim done. With the little wires and cables. And then Back up if I can. No, come here, you little shit. There we go. And then we need to come in and clean it up with the blacks. But first, before I do that, we're going to use the Rackard flesh. We've still got it here. I do. And we're going to get the Purity Seals based. You're good. It's fine. It's your birthday tomorrow. Huzzah! What are you planning for your birthday, my guy? Any plans? You getting ready to do some printing? Ooh, what kind of printing? What kind of STLs did you find? I don't know why this means STLs. Just go with it. What kind of STLs have you found? What kind of cool prints? Warhammer World, hell yeah, dude. Are you thinking about picking anything up while you're there? Well, I couldn't go to Warhammer World and not buy something, you know? See, I'd love to be able to go to Warhammer World, like take a woman there, show off all the nerdy shit. I have blade guard bits and some skulls to decorate bases. Ooh. Sounds really cool, my guy. I hope the prints work out for you. I'll get into printing eventually, but I have plenty to keep me busy for now. Oh, I'm knocking my camera up, sorry. Parchment bit here. I just realized there was a few gold bits we hadn't done. May get something you think. Excellent. Might get Eldar Revenant Titan. I have no idea what that is. Not a Scooby-Doo. Shield is looking sick. It's getting there, guys. It's getting there. Once I tidy it up and clean up all the mistakes on it, it'll look much better. But we're getting there. So for today's goal, I am hoping to be able to get at least all the shading done and to be able to have some of the highlights done on the armor. That's what I'm reaching for today. Nice, easy, simple goal. I'm not worried about hitting the blacks because I'm tidying up the blacks anyway. And And instead of using Black Legion, I'm going to be using Black Templar. Because Black Templar has a bit of a bluish hue to it. And I want that for the shield. Oh, I am going to have to do a few layers of this Rakar flesh on the shield. Frankie Duppish! Hey, howdy, howdy, howdy. How we doing? We're up, mate. To the other side now. The thing is that's so awkward for me, though, is trying to find a comfortable resting... Son of a bitch! Comfortable resting position to be able to work accurately. You son of a bitch! Normally, my models have got that little hole there. And I don't have that with this, so it's making accurate work a little bit more inaccurate. Come on, baby. There we go. Nice. Smooth layers. Sorry, didn't even realize how far away from the camera it was. It's doing that whole not zooming in bullshit as usual. Nice and messy on the back, but like I said, we will tidy up the blacks. How are we looking? What are you up to today? What are you up to today, Frankie Dapish? Are you up to much? Are you painting? Are you working? What is taking up your day? Rakar flesh now. I don't know what it is about me today. I'm sapped of all my strength. We also got Franco. What's going on, my dude? A salute to you as well, my friend. How are you? Shield's looking good. It'll get there, my guy. Ah, see, Frankie, that's a great idea, man. That's a great idea. Actually, is the stuff on the pallet still any good? It is, miraculously enough, never mind. One of my purity seals. A little bit more obvious to see when it's not surrounded by red. Try and get the top part done as well. Let's see. Getting ready for work. Ooh, are you doing a long shift today, man? Or is it a nice easy one? Too bad, that. 9 to 5 as usual. He's working 9 till 5. What a way to make a living. Not too shabby, that, though. Alright. Let's try and tidy up the blacks a bit now. What is everyone's beverage of choice? Today I have Monster Energy Viking Berry, which tastes just exactly like cranberries, to be fair. Oh, yes. Oh. That's honestly better than sex. Oh, that's great. Oh, delicious. Right. What was I doing? What was I doing? Blacks. So instead of Black Legion, I was going to use Black Templar. And you need to chuck this through the mixer for a second. Older Zone. Hey, how's the model coming along? It's coming along, my guy. It's getting there. We're just sorting the shield out for him now. It's a nice, long, and pathetic process. Beverage of choice is a boring Wednesday one. Water. Ooh, he drinking the agua. He drink the agua. Why is that no thing? I have no strength today. It's like my muscles. What little muscles I have. They're not working. It's just not working. Alright, so here we have to be pretty careful. That did not cover that, did it? Okay, hang on. I might just have to stick with Black Legion then, because the coverage is better. Much better. Steven, what I was telling you, what were you telling me? What were you telling me, my dude? I don't understand. What were you saying? Take our time with this one, guys. Very best not to screw up the gold. Precision painting is a lot harder. And just like that, he fucks up the gold. Everything's fine, don't panic. Mistakes happen. panic. Everything is alright. Everything is under control. Sorry, I'm getting text messages. The big Elder Titan I was thinking of buying. There's 2. Oh, okay. That's not the big Smeggin dude with the massive, like, pyramid head sort of helmet with the big sword, is it? By any chance? I'm not sure if that's a very good description, but, you know, it's the only way I can think of describing it. Okay. Base colors are done for the shield. Now we get to attach it and wash it. Pretty sure we did all the base colors for this guy apart from his eyes. Eyes come later. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to attach the shield now. 2 Titans and a Knight, Franco is saying. Interesting. I've just snapped his bloody arm off. God damn it. Tell the glue did a great job on that. Okay, we're gonna do it this way, are we? Okay, Warhammer, I see you. I'll have to sit here and hold it and babysit it for a minute. My nose. It's not having it, is it? It's because it's not super warm today. It's like, nah, I'm not doing it. You can't make me. Sit here and babysit for a minute. The black and white cloak looks dope. Thank you. It's not finished yet, but thank you. I much appreciate, my guy. My confidence for painting has definitely skyrocketed from January when I started doing this. Back in January, I was not very confident in my painting skills at all. But now, I'm pretty confident. I'm not very good, but I'm pretty confident with it. His arm is just not having it. Do not make me get the Gorilla Glue out. I will get the Gorilla Glue, don't make me do it. Oh, those things. Ah, I was right. Okay, those things. You put a pic in the Discord. Oh, I'll have to go check it out here in a minute, mate. As soon as I'm finished babysitting this bloody captain. Yes, you are good at it. Oh, aren't you a sweetheart? I'm not that good. I know plenty of people better at painting than I am. Cobalt, when did I first start watching you? I forget. It was the Impulsor stream. Ooh. That's not that long ago, to be fair. We haven't had the Impulsor finished for a super long time. But yeah, that's the cloak so far. I haven't done any shading to the cloak yet. These are just base colors and some basic highlights. The shading has not been done yet. I'm not sure how I want to shade the white or cream. I made it cream. Right, I'm gonna leave him to just sit there for a minute because his arm is still a bit non-cooperative. So he's just gonna chill for a sec. Let's go check the Discord. Those fuckers. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought they were. It's exactly what I thought they were. Yeah. Steven, it took me a long time to get as good as I am. That's why having a disability cerebral palsy. Oh my dude. Yeah, it's not very helpful, that is it? Not helpful when you're trying to do miniature painting. I'm kind of nervous to touch him now. I want that arm to really set properly. Right, so what I'll do, I'll get shading the rest of the gold. I'll move on to the shading of the I'm pretty sure I need a Seraphim second for the gold. I'll run that through the mixer. Alder, looks great. Your style of painting ain't too different from mine. Differences, I don't have an airbrush, and I use oil paints. Ah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, I say I'm not very good, but I'm very happy with the results I've had from my characters. I'm really happy with how it's going. And again, this is without any highlights. This is without any shading on it yet. This is still very basic. We've got a long way to go. I've just noticed there's a bit of gold on the cape I want to sort. Not sure how that got there. Let's fix that if we can, please. To the wash. I'm going to use a different brush for that.
Have I got a fluffy one?
Got a size 1, that'll do. Just being honest with my disability, it was hard to paint. Just made myself determined to get through it. What I'm saying is, if I can do it, you can do it. It just takes time. Oh, dude, I'm happy with my painting style. Don't get me wrong. I just know I'm not that. This is a Tony and Campbell shade of Seraphim Sepia. That's Crimson Caribou. That's no oil. That's Soul Light Gray. Violet. Seraphim Sepia. I'm happy with my painting skills. It's just taken me a long time to get confident with it. You know, because I definitely was not confident before. But what I'll tell you though, after I've mixed this sepia, real quick, just give it a second through the mixer because it's been about a month since I've used it. Right. Bastard. So my little tray of characters, I've still got a librarian in there that needs done. But for example, Like, my ancient? Absolutely astounded. I can't believe I painted that. I cannot believe I painted this guy. You know, so there's him. Librarian Tigurius. The Chaplain. I'm very happy with my characters. Yeah, they're not expert people. You know, plenty of people can do much better, but I like how I've done them. Where's my size one? I'm just gonna start shading the gold. Now, we're not gonna drown the gold in wash. Just enough to give it a layer. To darken it down a little bit. We're not gonna make it swim. And the thing is with that Ancient and Chaplain as well, they were my first real attempts at doing proper highlighting, you know? And I think that's a reason why I enjoy them so much, is because it was the next step in my painting journey. Drop the brush. Oh, thanks, Steven. Red, white, and black is objectively the best color scheme. Yes, sir. There we go. I'm just using little bits on my brush, which is why I'm going back for more. I'm trying not to overload my brush with the wash. I know I haven't done anything with the blade yet, guys. I know. I want the blade and the eyes to be one of the last things we do to this model. I know I've said it in previous streams, but I just thought I'd reiterate it. I can speak English, I promise. Reiterate it for everyone. The blade will be one of the last things we do, because I want to experiment with the blade. Get that knee as well. Need to get the gold on his head. Yeah, I'm going to be doing an experiment, a style of painting I've not really done before. For the power sword. Usually I just painted blue. So there you go, power sword. Use your imagination. But not this time. I'm going to try and go for proper power sword sort of look. With crackling lightning. And if I can pull that off, then I will be very happy. If not, then meh. Now for the dangerous part is his shield. Here in a minute, once we've done these pauldrons. because I'm not sure if the glue is going to be very happy with me. Now, I'm being a little bit more generous with the shade on the shield, because it is a very much in-your-face part of the miniature. And I want to do very selective highlights on it. I don't want it pooling though, that's the thing. How the hell did we get red on the... How the hell did we get red on the gold bit? Way too much. Shading the inside of the shield now. That's all the gold done. Now we move on to the non-oil. This is the OG one that is pretty much empty. The really old non-oil. No worries, dude. I've just turned it down a slight bit. I didn't realize it was that loud. My bad. Non-oil. For the metal. And this is the old recipe of non-oil before they ruined it. I don't know what they did to the new recipe of non-oil, but it stinks. The old one is far better. Don't let it pool, though. Alright, any other metal bits? Okay. I'll clean this up later. But just to get into the rivets. There we go. We can clean up the reds later. It's fine. Just wanted to get some of the shadows in there before we start doing any red highlighting. Try and separate some of the panels out. It looked messy to start with, guys, but trust the process. And I'll just easily go over it with some Mephiston. On the spots where it's darker than it probably should be. In fact, for some of these underneath areas, it would be corn red we would go over. Yeah, like I said, kind of dirty at the start, but trust the process. Okay. I think that's about all of it. Yep. Let's see. Basilicanum Gray instead. Ooh. That's an idea. I have some of that. I haven't considered that before. Okay, I need to get some Apothecary White, which is right up there. Which one has been opened? That one definitely has. Look how separated that is, though. That's disgusting. Everyone take a good look at how separated that is. And then let it sit in the mixer for a minute. Basilicanum Grey is an alternative now, is it? I had no idea. But yeah, we're going to get a lot of the shading done today and the highlighting, I think. I still haven't figured out a basing recipe for these guys, which is why the Chaplain and the Ancient have not been based yet. Because the Blood Angels are separate from my Ultramarines, I wanted them to have a unique basing scheme. So, I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. And there you go. Nice and mixed. Funny thing is, we don't actually need much of this. This is for the headdress. Nice to see the shield is glued in properly. Don't pull. we're going to use some on the purity seals. Actually, that's a mistake. I'm going for a different worn look, actually. That's a mistake. My bad. Okay, this shield is not glued on properly at all. And that arm is still very twitchy. Okay, it's gonna be one of those days, guys. Where's the Gorilla Glue? That's it. No more prisoners. It's around here somewhere. Hayden, what's going on, my guy? Currently at work, just dropping in to say hi and hope you have a lovely stream. See ya. Alright, Hayden, no worries, buddy. Thanks for dropping in, my dude. I'm looking for the Gorilla Glue. There's no way I put it away. Did I? Unless I put it in the basic stuff. New package it is. Now, I'm not going to need a lot of this, it's just going to be a dab. Right, if the arm comes off, I'll do the same to the arm. The arm has come off. Fine. Gorilla Glue for you as well, then. Because plastic glue is not doing the trick, apparently, today. Son of a bitch! Sorry, none of this is on camera. I'm sat here trying to glue a bloody Space Marine's arm back on. And he's being a bit of a bastard. Right, his arm is back on. Haha, like nothing happened. You saw nothing, you heard nothing. Nothing. It was all a bad dream, people. It was all a bad dream. He's like, medic! We need a medic over here! Ha 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 ha! Illusions. Right, that can go back up there because we're not going to need you again. Finest fellas destroys everything. No, it wasn't Sapient. What was it? It was Agrex Earthshade. I think it was. Yep, Steven with the medic! We need a medic. He's lost his arm. Get him an augmented one, quick. Just getting the null oil back out. Because I want to fix the... shield here. Just to shade down the, there's like a recess between the black and the gold bit. And naturally I've gotten some gold in there. Accidentally. So I'm using the null oil and some Black Legion here to neaten that up a bit. Especially on the back here. Seal that. Is this Agrax? Yep. Agrax Earthshade on the right wing. Or the Rakkar, sorry. On the Rakkar flesh. There we go, lovely jubbly. This will help exaggerate the recesses a bit more. And on the other side. But again, as you can see, I'm not applying it too heavily. I'm not letting it pull dramatically or anything. Got another one over here. Another one on the backpack. Another two on the backpack. Okay, that was a bit more than I wanted. Try and wick some of that off. And then we've got some more bit down here. Okay. Pretty sure that's everything shaded now, apart from the cape. Of which I'm going to use Tyrant Blue. Now, I've never used this before, so this will be interesting. I can't believe this is a shade. Slaty, good afternoon. While at work, stream happy days. Happy days, my friend. I raise my monster to you. How are you, mate? You doing all right? How's work treating you? How's your shift going? If we haven't done so already, please, lads, let's make sure we can hit the thumbs up on the live stream. It'll get my stream out there to more people, and I need the love. So please, please, oh please, oh please, oh please, hit that like button for me. Now, I'm just going to apply this very thinly over these shaded parts of the cape. In the recesses. I'm not doing it on the highlights, just in these recessed bits. So like on the inside of the crease. Like in there, for example. And then up top. Following that line. Get some in there, some in there. Go. Get it off of that armor panel if I can. But not just add some depth into the recesses. Right, so while all that is drying, what do I want to do with the white part of the cape? The thing is with the cape though, I know it's not obvious at this angle, but I think the natural lighting acts as decent shadowing for the cape depending how you hold it. Personally. So what I'll do now is I'll go in and tidy up the armor with some Mephiston. Just in some of the areas where we made a bit of a mess with the wash. Not using too much of it. Get off. Using my other brush. Thin you down nicely, and let's have a look. So, it's a bit messy there. And there. And here. And up here. Reestablish some of that red where the glue's been rubbing. Reestablish that gold. I don't know why with this project, but the gold has been super unreliable. A little bit on the helmet. There you go. just some on this part here. Alright. I think what we do next is we highlight up the metals and the golds. Or what would you rather see? Would you rather see me start highlighting the armor or the metals? I'll let you all choose. And whilst you're choosing, I'm going to go get some fresh vape batteries. So I will be 2 seconds. Alrighty then. More batteries. And I have managed to respond to all the text messages I missed. Because everyone insists on messaging me when I'm streaming. Lovely. Oh, what happened? Oh, it locked my phone for some reason. There you go. Let's see. 2 hours left of work, then got a base to paint up. Had some resin bits arrive, hell yeah. Metals first. Okay, we'll do metals first. So, with metals first, I'm going to use a different gold called bright gold. And I'm going to mix that up real quick, and that would be my highlight for the gold. So if we're doing metals first, I'll do the gold, because there's lots of it. At least it has darkened the golds down quite a bit. There's just an obscene amount of gold on this guy. Where's me the brush? Okay, so I'm gonna do the top of his shield there. Just little patches around the shield at the top. Parts of the skull that would be a bit brighter, for example. Some of the more raised areas. Just doing some slight dots and lines where it would shimmer just that little bit more. I'm going to try and exaggerate it in some of the places. On some of the edges, for example. Not so much on that side. But more towards the top and it'll get darker at the bottom. Just fix that mistake real quick. As for the halo, I keep nudging my phone. Try and raise that up a bit. Mighty Spatula, what's going on, dude? Here for the algorithm, I'm commenting twice so it sticks. Hell yeah. Great job on that shield. I'm terrified to paint my box. Your Armageddon box? How come, dude? Why terrified? What's going on? Talk to me. I'm just going to do every second spike a bit brighter on the halo. Not going to do every single one of them bright. And I'm going to try and catch maybe this top edge instead of the inner circle to be brighter. And then just do little patches. Just get some color gradients going. It's a very discreet change. And here I'm just going to do some selective raised parts. Like this raised part of the eagle. I'm gonna do these spikes. Maybe the inner part of the halo. And just hit the raised edges of the laurels of victory. I'm thinking maybe there and there for that. Every second feather there. The raised part of this skull. I'm also thinking the top of this sword. Once again, the raised parts of the handle. Just the top edge of this kneecap. Not that one. That one's very shaded by the shield. General edge highlight for that one. Just gonna splodge the button. Not sure how much if you can tell of the differences in the gold, but some of it is brighter than the rest of it. I'm still working on the shield though. I'm not sure how obvious it is about the different tones of gold. You guys can tell me. You've never painted? I bought an airbrush, a few paints, more brushes, so I have what I need, but don't have the confidence to start. Oh my god, you've never painted before! Well, welcome to the hobby! Let me be one of the few people that might have already done that for you. Welcome to painting! All sorts of miniatures. I don't just paint Warhammer. I am also planning on doing Fallout, Bolt Action, Star Wars. I'm planning to do all sorts of miniatures, not just Warhammer on the channel. But welcome to the hobby, my dude. First thing, I would maybe just give you some advice about starting your painting journey. Your airbrush, are you using it to prime your miniatures, or is it just to get like the base coats done? My next question would be, to try and learn how to thin your paints properly. You know, that's the two biggest things I would ask you straight off from what you've told me is, if you can learn how to thin your paints properly, you're going to avoid what I did with my first ever Space Marine. I'll give you a hint what's wrong with this guy. The paint is way too thick and gloopy. That was my first ever Space Marine. Both for the airbrush and don't know how to thin paint. He looks beautiful. Thank you so much. That is the first kind word anyone's ever said about this. Even I think this guy is shit. You know? Like, I'll give you a comparison. If you think he's beautiful, hang on, I'll give you a comparison. Wait. Okay. So, this was my first Space Marine. This is one of my best Space Marines. Can you tell the difference? So you see what I mean about thinning the paint? Hopefully you get what I mean now. Very little difference. Whatever, man. Whatever, dude. Yeah, so there is a great video on YouTube of how to thin your paints. I'm pretty sure we have it up in the Discord for painting tips videos. So if you want to join the Discord, I don't actually have the bottle. Hang on. Wait for it. So if you type !Discord, it should then give you an invite to the Discord. And we have a couple of useful painting videos in there in the useful painting section. So welcome to the hobby, my guy. Glad to have you. Thing is with this hobby, the best advice I could give anyone who's starting out, don't rush yourself. Don't give yourself a time limit. for example, just to get where I am with this guy has taken me, what, almost 10 hours already? Almost. Don't feel like you have to rush yourself. Take your time. Enjoy the hobby. I wouldn't say I'm an expert painter, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I've got the basics down. I'm quite happy with the golds. Let's go on to highlighting the metal. And for that, I'm going to be using Army Painter's Shining Silver. Cobalt can kind of see it. Yeah, it's very subtle, but there is a difference. In person, it's easier to see than my bloody camera. If I can stop hitting it for 5 minutes. It is easier to see in person. But you'll see that some areas are more orange, some areas are more bright gold. I'm thinking about exaggerating the shading on it a bit more, on the gold. Because it's still a bit bright for me. But we'll see. Okay, so for the metal, I'm going to do some edge highlighting on the exhaust vents. Just around the square a bit. Got some on the braid there, my bad. And then ever so gently around the rims of the exhaust. Go. Lovely. I don't know if you can see a difference with the metals. I love Shining Silver. It's such a good one. Now, I've made a bit of a whoopsie, which I'm just going to cover up now. Lovely. It was never there. If you could only ever paint with 4 paints again, what would they be? Nothing, because if I'm limited to 4 paints, why bother? Just a little bit of Shining Silver on top there. But do you see what I mean about the Shining Silver being really, really good? On the metal. It's just small touches that make it look cool. I think I'm going to exaggerate the shading just that little bit more. Because I'm actually not very happy with how bright some of it still is in the recesses. So if you bear with me, guys, I'm going to experiment a bit. No, don't close on me, you bastard. Stop it! There we go. Just to darken down the inside of the shield a bit more. How does that look? I'm quite liking that. I think it looks much better. Now that we've got some definition between the gold. The metal work on the back thrusters is so good. I'm stealing the technique. It's so easy, dude. It's so easy. So I used gunmetal as my primary. And then I used Null Oil over the gunmetal. And then all I did was highlight with shining silver. Dead easy. Looks amazing. Works a treat. Anyone's welcome to it. It's not a state secret. But that's the result you'll get. Okay. Nice and easy. I like this better now that we've got some definition between the gold. I think that's much better. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm just working away trying to exaggerate the the effect of the gold, because I'm still not 100% happy with it. So I'm just tinkering away, trying to get the desired brightness on some of these areas. Using a mixture of wash and paint. There we go. Let that dry. I'll stop messing with it for a minute. Alright, let's bring back up the plume. And I used... Where's my Vallejo? There it is. Mighty thinning is not as hard as you'd think. If it's a bit thick, up the PSI, if then lower it down, mess about with the paper. Yeah, exactly what Sleety's saying. Man, every stream you get better and better. The cape, the thrusters, the shield, all the gold is really good. Are you keeping this shield skull gold or painting it tan? Gold. Keeping it gold. I'm still not happy with the gold though, so I'm stepping away for a minute while the back of my head brainstorms a different technique for the gold. Still not 100% happy with it. Okay, I'm just bringing back in the original color now. For the plume, I'm going to do some edge highlighting along the top. And then I'm going to do some selective lines. Okay, and I'm gonna just get a bit of an edge highlight here as well. There we go. Nice, I like it. Okay, back to the Rakarth flesh. And we're just going to reintroduce the original color on the highest points. On the purity seals in just little lines, and on the top edges. Same down here. We'll get to doing the armor here in a minute. Okay, that got super watery for a moment. Not sure why. little bit of detail there. Okay. What can I do to that shield? You're in the Discord. Welcome! You got ice cream. Oh, mate, I'm jealous. Can I have some? I like the shield better now, but I'm still not 100% with it. I'm gonna try some Fugian orange a little bit. Bear with me, guys. I'm experimenting. I'm just still not very happy with it. Just gonna try some Fugian orange and some of the bits I want a little bit darker. Like these spikes here. Just to bring some more interest to the mini. Let's see how this turns out, shall we? Do some wet blending here. We got Lazy Mini Painting. How do fella and the chat? We're doing really good, my dude. How are you? Armageddon Captain just started mine on Monday. Ooh. How's yours going? Would love to see pictures of it in the Discord if you're willing, dude. I think that makes it a bit more interesting to look at. Hopefully that's not just me, though. Alright, what does everyone think of the shield now? We've added a little bit more interest to the eye. What are we thinking? Anyone? I kind of like that. I might use that again. Right, what do we do next? Dark Reaper, I think. Yep, I think Dark Reaper's next. Steven says it's looking good. Hell yeah, I'll throw up a work in progress. I know what he's, man. Looking good, dude. Box art scheme, not particularly, no. It's more of like a cross between Blood Ravens and Blood Angels armor. It's not strictly Blood Angels style. Mainly because I wanted to do Blood Ravens, but I didn't have any Blood Ravens decals, so it's kind of a mix between the two. It's not strictly either way, you know. But sure, we'll call them Blood Angels. It's a bit of a hybrid armor. I'm just using these guys as an excuse to try out new techniques that I don't usually use, like highlighting. These miniatures in the Armageddon box are the first time I've ever done any highlighting. And so far, so good, I think. Just using some Dark Reaper on the cape and on the lanyards. I think I want to throw some Mechanicus Standard in there, though. I'm pretty sure it was Mechanicus Standard we used, wasn't it? Does anyone remember what... I'll have to go back and look at the video, actually. Actually, guys, give me 2 seconds. Let me just boot that video up real quick. Sorry, I'm just going to cut the music short there. Let me just check what paint it was we used. I'm going to mute myself, though, because I don't like the sound of my own voice. What did we use? I was wearing my glasses on that stream. That was definitely Dark Reaper, I can tell. We were working on the banner there. Still banner. Still banner. Okay, I think that whole stream was just the banner. Oh, that's when we did all the Tyranid stuff. I think it was Mechanicus Standard. I'm not sifting through hours and hours of video here. Yeah, I'm just going to say it was Mechanicus Standard. Why not? Let's get Mechanicus. Kind of a custom chapter. Yeah, kind of. Kind of, sort of. Have we got Mechanicus Standard that is unopened? Sorry, that is already opened. Yes, we do. Chuck it through the vortex mixer. April, what's up, dude? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. What have you been up to, April? Good, back at college. What about me? Doing well. Doing well. You know me, just chilling out. Painting some toy soldiers. We're still to highlight the armor and everything. How's college treating you? I think it might have been brighter than Mechanicus Standard, though. Maybe it was Administratum? I will just... Maybe it was Dawnstone. Was it Dawnstone? I'm gonna go through a few of these just to see what it was. No, this seems to be working all right. I think it dries a lot lighter than it comes out the bottle. Not too worried about highlighting the back of it. We've got this one here. Crazy but fun. Did a slip and slide yesterday. That sounds amazing. I don't even remember the last time I did a slip and slide. We're talking easily... Oh, I can't believe how old I am. Like 15, 16 years ago. Easily. Since I did a slip and slide. There you go, some selective highlights on the back there. Now, I do see a part where we've messed up with the gold, so let me come back in with some Legione. And then we'll get to the fun part of doing the armor. Which is going to take us a while. You know what? I should probably pick out all the metal bits on his belt. What do you think? See all the little metal bits on his thing there? Should we pick those out? What's everyone's opinion? Should we try? just to make it a bit more interesting to look at. Okay, just clean up with the black slightly there, it'll be fine. There you go, that looks much more interesting on the belt, now that we've done the metal studs. You say leave them, they give you a headache. Ah, I did them anyway, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. Now I've got to try and find a brown to highlight the sheaths. Because we used, what did we use? I think it was Gothor brown we used. It's lighter than Gothor. What have I got that's brighter than Gothor brown? I don't think I've got anything that's lighter than Gothor brown. What I could try and do is maybe put a wash over it. Don't I have like a leather wash here? Let's go in black. Fully white. I thought I had a leather wash. Top like gold. Snake bite leather. Maybe just to make it a bit more interesting, then go back over it with the original Gothor. XV88. Is that brighter than Gothor? I've got XV88. We'll give it a shot. Just give me 2 seconds. XV88. Where are you? Hello. Just dropping everything today, mate. I don't know, you can't see it, but I've got all my paints just sat there on the side that I've been using for this project. Lots and lots. Oh, and I've locked my phone like an absolute fanny. There you go. At least it's worth a look. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. No harm in trying, is there? Absolutely no harm in trying. I think the shield looks way more interesting to look at now, though.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the Armageddon Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Okay. Let's try a bit of XV88 and see how that goes.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Discovery, go and throttle up.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
I got a bit generous with that one. It's alright, we can always tidy up with the original color. let's get some of the original color. Some edge highlights of the XV88 works fine, actually. "80% paints need to tidy up soon." Yeah, I usually tidy up after I finish a project. I like to have the paints I'm using out here instead of up there on my racks. So that way I can keep track of all the paints I'm using. And then when a new project starts, I'll pull off each paint I need. That looks better. Alright. Before we try and do the armor highlights, I'm going to try and dot the I's without fucking up. This is a big if I don't fuck up. We shall see. I'm not going to need much of this at all, just the tiniest bit. There we go. Alright. Hope you had a big breakfast, boys. That's right, I've made a bit of a mess deliberately because I can always clean it up with the original red before we did the armor highlighting. It's not a problem. There we go. I just needed to make sure I got the actual full socket done. It's not a problem. We haven't done any armor highlighting yet. That's just Mephiston red on there. Not an issue. Give the white a second to dry. Let's see. The print failed. This is the 5th in a row now. I have to figure out what's going wrong. Ooh, that's rough. I'm sorry, dude. That kind of sucks, actually. I'm really sorry. What do you think it might be? Are you using a resin printer or an FDM printer? Out of curiosity. You're a resin printer, aren't you? We still got some Mephiston here. Just tidy up. This could be a bit of back and forth, I think. Because my hands are not as steady as they probably should be today. And then just clean up again. There we go. Lovely. And then I need null oil. My phone is vibrating like crazy today. And then we need the magic A. Once that's dry, I'll give it a second to dry properly. I've been painting 3 different projects recently. So been lazy about putting them back in case I need them again. Yeah, that's fair, dude. Lazy, you still got your fist in where? What? Wait, what? You need a bit for the computer. Oh dear. Yeah, those can be kind of expensive sometimes. And then the cool bit, guys. See how separated Tesseract Glow is? It's so separated. Let's give it like a minute, 60 seconds on the mixer. But yeah, he's coming out very nicely. It's going to look really cool once the armor highlights are on. That's a good 30 seconds on that side. Flip it over, 30 seconds on this side. And then a nice little shake. And voila! I love my mixer. Let's let that dry and I'll do another layer. Let me have a look. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it properly. I'm going to give it another layer of the Tesseract Glow, though. Kind of like those lenses, personally. Finish off this monster. Looking good. It's getting there. Slowly and steady, it's getting there. Right, should be dry now. Get a little bit more on my brush, please. Amazeballs. All right. Now we get to the tricky part. Armor highlighting. That goes up there. That goes in there. That goes over there. Evil Sun's Scarlet is going to be my red of choice. Club Me 1019 Noob Painter looks at many. You smell shite. Well, if you smell shite, mate, you might want to go and check your boots. I've only been painting like this since January, and I still figure myself very much a noob. I have the fundamentals down, I have the basics down, but there's nothing advanced going on here. So yes, I'd say very much I am still a noob painter. You need whatever overhead camera I am using. I'm using an iPhone 17 Pro Max as my camera. That one. That is an iPhone 17 Pro Max. Well, I'll show you. There you go.
That's my phone.
I've just got it on a swing arm with my microphone. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm using. Easy peasy, booby squeezy. Alright, let's use some Evil Sun Scarlet, I think, for this next bit. Now, I'm going to water this down fairly heavily because I don't want it to be too thick of a layer. Like, a generous, what do they call that? Not a wash, but, blend. Like a wet blend, almost. No, that's not a wet blend. What is it called? I forget what the technique's called, but it's, I'm just gonna water it down and layer it up very, very slowly in some places. There we go, a bit more. To be fair, though, before I started painting like this in January, I watched an absolute crap ton of YouTube videos. Loads of them. Now I'm going to try and get all the bits that would be exposed directly to my light source. And then darken down as necessary. Now this is just quite a watered down layer. So it's not all going to come through on the first coat. Alright, for the helmet, it'll be up here on his forehead. Make sure I'm in camera focus. I am more or less. Try and hit these raised bits. I'm more than certain that this will need a second coat, but it's fine. Patience is the key to victory, boys and girls. The Emperor would be proud. Glazing! That's it. Thank you very much. Glazing. I hate myself that I forgot that that's what it was called. Never mind. Nobody's perfect. Glazing. Why did I forget that? So I'm just hitting these raised bits of the helmet. I need to water that down a bit more because it's going on a bit more solid than I want it to. I watched so many YouTube videos before I started painting to this standard. Well, I'll give you an example, right? Before January, I hadn't painted in the whole time I was married, pretty much. So we're looking like 10 years. I was at least 20. I was about 20 the last time I painted. And this was the last miniature I painted before January. Open up one of my old boxes, the Dark Vengeance kit, and painted some of these dudes. That was what I painted. So I was about 20 years old. This was the last dude I had painted. And then, I'm 33 now. I'm 33 as of January. And, you know, decided, hey, I'm going to get back into the hobby. And the first miniature I did when I got back into the hobby, I decided to slow down, pay attention, follow the tutorials. The first guy I did when I got back was this one. And that was me following a YouTube tutorial on how to paint Chief Librarian Tigerius. Although, to be fair, I did get a lot of help with the cape from one of the viewers we had on the channel. There's a guy called Something Shorter Studios, that's his YouTube name, but his actual name is Eddie, and he gave me some help on how to get the definition in the cape. But, yeah. So, that's what I started doing, guys. So what's that, like 12, 13 years actually? 12, 13 years ago, I slapped paint on. I couldn't give a shit. I was like, I want to go play games. There we go. Paint. Ta-da! Space Marine. But I didn't enjoy painting. I fucking hated it, man. I hated painting. I just wanted to play back then. I was like 20 years old and I was like, nah, who cares? Paint. But now, I don't really care about playing the game. I really couldn't care less. If somebody says to me, hey, do you want to go and learn how to play the new edition of Warhammer? I'm like, you'll have to be easy on me because I'm clueless, but sure, let's go learn how to play some games together. I'd play, but now I just care more about the painting side of things, you know? So for me, I'm taking so much more effort to learn how to paint. But like I said, I'm not doing anything advanced. Nothing I'm doing is an advanced painting technique. Let's catch up with the chat before I keep going. Oh, an iPhone. Well, there goes that idea. What do you mean? What were you gonna do? You don't have to use an iPhone. If you guys go to Chaplain JC on YouTube, he's the one who helped me up with this setup, actually. Solid guy, so much more entertaining than me. Chaplain JC. He uses, I think he's on an Android. Somebody, I'm sure, will correct me on that, but I think he's on an Android phone. And he's got better quality than I do. I've been thinking about getting a new phone, but I just don't think the upgrades available are that much of a leap for the cash from my ancient Note 20 Ultra. To be fair, mate, they don't do anything differently. I don't feel that they do anything differently. I only upgraded because my contract was offering me something really cool. And I thought, fine, I'll upgrade. Go on then. Sorry, I kind of get quiet when I'm applying the paint to the model. And I'm just starting to glaze up some Evil Sun Scarlet on these more raised areas. It didn't work for the Emperor. Be silent, you elf-loving, dinosaur-munching bastard. You and your dinosaurs can run up to my Space Marines and die in the glorious Emperor's name. For anyone who thinks that was a bit brutal, our boy Steven there, we love him to bits. He's an Eldar guy. Xenos. I'm just messing with you, Steven. I'm just messing with you. I'm gonna make your dinosaurs work for their lunch. You're killing it, man. Thank you. I'm using a what? Oppo A54, real cheap stuff. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Haven't painted since 4th edition, started January last year. KS Miniatures. Yes! Just like me. What have you started painting up again? What got you back into the hobby? I, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fellow nerds, am one of those people that got back into the hobby because of Space Marine 2. I got back into it for that. Which is why you can have your opinion, you can say what you want. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but we love the Ultramarines here. We very much love our blueberries. But my, the original chapter, the reason I wanted to do more of a Blood Raven style for these guys, instead of a Blood Angel, I know I haven't done it very well, but never mind. was because my introduction to Warhammer was way back when I was like a young teenager with Dawn of War. And it was the Blood Ravens with Gabriel Angelos. And I loved the Dawn of War games. Up until Dawn of War 3, where I didn't play much. Whereabouts are you from in the UK? I live in the northeast coast of Scotland. That is where I am at the moment. I'm gonna exaggerate the red a little bit more. On this top bit of the circle. Chappie is a nice dude. Chappie's the greatest, man. He's honestly the best guy. He's the one who got me into streaming my painting. He gave me the advice I needed. He gave me the push I needed to start doing it. He's the best. Lazy saying Chaplain JC, so there is hope. Yeah, Chappie. Chappie's using an old Android, not fancy at all. There you go. I didn't think he was using anything special. But yeah, I'm just using a phone camera, guys. I know I'm not always in focus or having it right up to the camera or anything. But yeah, no, Chaplin's a solid guy. He and I have done a few co-streams together over the months. Not recently, because I had a major burnout. And I was out of the hobby again for about a month. But yeah, no, he's a really solid dude. Trying to catch up on all the comments. I'm so glad the Eldaria have dinosaurs. Add much need oil. Fair. Dude, you're making me feel old. It was a full-blown adult when Dawn of War came out. Mate, I wasn't a full-blown adult. I'm only 33. No, I'm only 33, mate. I remember being a teenager playing Dawn of War. And now I am 33 with a child, and I am painting toy soldiers on the internet. Life is good. I want to hit some of this pauldron, actually. Now, I will have to do another layer of this because it kind of goes on a bit streaky at the start. But the thing is, I don't want to get the whole pauldron. I want to get to about there, because that's where the shield would start catching a shadow. Or casting a shadow, even. See how it would cast a shadow there, so I'm deliberately not doing underneath. I'm not sure how much the camera is showing what I'm doing. Let's see. Chaos Miniatures started up with World Eaters, moving into EC for 11th edition. What's EC? Did IG? Don't know what that is. Tau and orcs, but sold all armies to support new family. Kids are older, so I have time and money. Hell yeah! Focus more on quality than playing, putting myself through non-metallic metal challenges and improving. Oh, mate, you're braver than I am. You are braver than me, mate. I do not want to try non-metallic metal. Not anytime soon, that is for damn sure. Like I said, nothing I'm doing is that advanced. Now, I'm just putting this Evil Sun Scarlet where the light would make the armor just that little bit brighter. Now, I can already see by the natural shadowing that the shield would cover up the what's rest of that pauldron, or the greave, sorry. So now we're on to just this part. And then the feet just here. And I haven't figured out a basing scheme yet, guys, so we're not basing them yet. Alright, let's get another layer down just to smooth it over. Dawn of War 3 tried too much to copy MOBAs since they were huge back then. Yeah, pretty much. Carl Franz, Emperor of Man, hello! Hello, how are you? Welcome to the stream. How are we today? You having a good one, mate? We're just sat hanging out, painting toy soldiers and having a chat. Steven saying, by the way, Games Workshop up their prices again. Again? By how much this time? Another reason I'm moving to Star Wars Legion once I've finished all my Warhammer models. I'm from Scotland too, near Stirling. You should take part in Chappie's painting comp thing. I can't do that, club, unfortunately. I can't take part. I've got a suspected spam phone call coming through. I can't take part in it. I'm a judge. I'm a judge for the competizione. Dry brush, non-metallic metal on a sword came out really well in my opinion. Oh, dude, that sounds absolutely amazing, and it sounds like it would take a lot of time. Lord Dice 7. Any tips for glazing? Yes. Patience. Lots and lots of patience. It is a slow process. It is a very slow process. You do not get immediate results, unfortunately. That is my biggest tip for glazing. I don't do glazing very well. I still need to practice the technique a lot. But that is the biggest piece of advice I would give you. The richer the color you want that color to be, just keep doing layers until you reach the color you want. Which is kind of what I'm doing at the moment. Until I get the brightness I'm after, I just keep glazing over and applying layers where I want it brighter. And getting loads on the sword. fix that up real quick. The heat melted the new FEP. Aw, mate. 3% price increase. Gay. That reminds me, gotta get started in my marine for the competition. There you go, Frankie. You gotta get started, mate. Am I working on set models or working towards an army collection? No, I'm just working through all my boxes. So before this one, I was working through the Leviathan box that I've had set on my shelf for years. Didn't quite finish it, got through most of the Tyranids, didn't even start in the Marines yet. But then Armageddon came out, and Chappie wanted us to do it both at the same time on our channels, so I bought Armageddon, and I'm working my way through the characters. So once Armageddon's finished, I'll go back and then finish Leviathan, and then once that's done, I'm going to be buying each one of the starter sets for Star Wars Legion, and working my way through them. No, not army building or anything. What about you? Are you army building, or are you just doing models you think look cool? See, if they were to update the Grey Knights roster and give them, like, modern miniatures, give them a proper rework, I would love to collect Grey Knights. Because they are just fantastic. I'd love to collect Grey Knights. But their models are so out of damn date. Well, that music changed very rapidly. The back of the shield's a bit of a mess, so I need to sort that out. Let's have another look. Soon we are going to be paying £50 for a single Space Marine Lieutenant. That's not happening. So 105 goes to 109. Ugh. Why again? Why have they increased it again? They've only just increased their prices. It's getting a bit silly now. Soon Warhammer will be too expensive for anyone to buy. And their sales will dip, and they will only have themselves to blame. Especially with the state of the world at the moment. Like, what are they thinking? Absolutely ludicrous. I painted one model out of my Leviathan box, the rest is still in the pile. Oh no, Frankie. Oh no. Yeah, we got through most of the Tyranids. Unfortunately, we didn't get them finished, though. So, oh, god damn it. I will go back and finish them off once we've done the Armageddon box. I'll be perfectly honest, though, I don't think I'm even going to paint the orcs. I'm just really not interested in painting orcs. Right, anywhere else that needs some highlights? I think the best place to see it is on the backpack. I'm not sure how well it comes through on the camera. But what do you think of that backpack? Darker in the shading, lighter on top. What does people think of the volumetric highlighting we've done there? Always go to a local shop so they get the money and get the 20% off. Yeah, that's fair. Army building in anticipation of playing with my lads when they're older, get them into it, and encourage them to start their own 3K World Eaters and 2.7K Emperor's Children in the go at the moment. Ooh, damn. That's cool. Not sure why it would put a baby icon in. Because every child is a servant of the Emperor. That is why. Yes, my child, she's got a box of Star Wars Legion, and it's her box, so I'm not allowed to touch it. Right, she's got her own box of Star Wars Legion minis there. She built them, and I primed them for her, because I didn't want her to prime them. And I'm going to have to teach her how to paint up her box of soldiers, as she likes to call them. So I kind of want to get my own Star Wars Legion. No, Steven, I'm not doing Eldar. Exactly, Club Me, exactly. I've also got a box of Tau. I have a combat patrol for the Tau that have been built. Not even primed, just built, sat in a box for the longest time. You know, I've got Calgar, Lieutenant Titus. I've got some Kriegsman. The other half of the Leviathan box. I've got Lord of the Rings. I've got some Sigmar. I've got 3 Star Wars Legion vehicles down there. I've got so many things to do. Alright, Lazy, no worries, my dude. I'll see you in a bit, my guy. Thanks for hanging out. Looks nice, thank you. If you took Grey Knights, could you take Legends Imperial Agents? If so, you could have a demon host with them. Oh, that'd be sick. Looks awesome. Looks like you used some purples in there. Not yet. The purples are yet to come. I haven't done the purple shading yet. That bit's later. Looks fine to me, hell yeah. Yeah, exactly, Cobalt, exactly. Don't give me a sad face, Steven. Eldar are your thing, not mine. And I find it so weird that I don't like the 40k Eldar. If you bring to me like Sigmar, Lord of the Rings, or like Dungeons and Dragons, anything else with elves, I love the elves. But when I saw the Eldar for Warhammer, I was like, nah. Didn't like them. I'm just seeing if I need to do any more armor highlights. Maybe I'll not. Well, no, because the light source is here, right here. So that wouldn't actually get any. That would just be the Mephiston red, and then I do the purples here in a bit. He's coming along nicely. The price of a single model is completely ridiculous, though, especially since some include 2, a leader and a support. That's nuts, dude. Bought the majority of my minis since getting back into painting badly from the second-hand market, mostly on sprue, but a fraction of the price. Yeah, exactly. You know, you can't, there's no reason to break the bank for a hobby. Where is my purple shade? Which is right here, and I'm going to be using Druchii Violet. And I'm going to put that through the mixer. And I'm going to just do this last bit of painting today, guys, and I need to go. Alright, guys, I'm just going to do this shading bit, and I will be heading off for the day. But we've made a lot of progress so far. The only things really to do now is the power sword. And that's it. You know, after we do the shading bit, we just need to do the power sword. And tidy up the back of that shield, but that'll be easily done off camera. Alrighty-tighty. Now, I'm going to be very selective with this, if I don't keep dropping my brushes. I'm not going to put too much on here either, so I'm going to do shading here, since it's directly behind the shield. to do shading on the back end of the arm here. Underneath the arm. Underneath this arm as well, because this is completely in the black. In the shadow. I'm gonna do the back of this leg. That's way too much. Because this wouldn't catch the light at all back here. It's completely opposite where I've got my light source coming from. There's a bit on the inside of his leg here. We've got this knee, which is completely covered by the shield. We've got the other side of his shoe. That's way too much on my brush. That side of the shield. Underneath his arm here. Oh, we've missed a bit of his under armor. Never mind. I'll get to that later. Put a bit of shading down here. Just get some on the back of his feet because the cape is covering him. There we go. And I think that's about it for the shading. I'm loving how that's looking so far. What we thinking? Now, obviously the sword isn't done yet. And the white part of the cape isn't done yet. So, for the white part of the cape, the reason that hasn't done any shadowing or shading yet, or highlights, because I haven't decided how I want to do it. I'm going to check out some videos tonight, and I might do it off camera and just take pictures and show you in the Discord. But next time we stream, guys, I will be finishing off the power sword and getting started on the other librarian. But for everyone that's been hanging out with me today, thank you so much for hanging out. If you're brand new, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you here. Also type in !Discord. You can join the Discord. It's not as busy or as popular as Chaplin's, but you got to start somewhere, guys. Also, hit that thumbs up button. Show me the love. Bye-bye for now.
In the spotlight, they rise to fame. Finest fellas, remember the name. Guitars blazing, they rock the scene. Streaming glory, living the dream. Charging up, can't bring us down. In the chaos, we're owning this town. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never scoff. Raise our arms, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never scoff. Raise the horns, it's show.